One of the most important and distinguishing aspects of a Montessori school is the prepared environment. Dr. Montessori said, "Education is a natural process carried out by the human individual and is acquired not by listening to words, but by experiences in the environment." The Montessori prepared environment serves the developmental needs of the child. It supports freedom of movement, speech, and association. That means that the children are free to move around, to choose where they work, whether they work at a table or on a mat. Sometimes they even have the freedom to work inside or outside of a classroom. They have freedom of speech, so they may talk while they're working if they choose. And they have freedom of association, which means that they may engage with their peers during their cycle of activity. A Montessori prepared environment also supports free choice of activity. It facilitates normal developmental growth in the different planes of development, and it includes a full range of Montessori materials appropriate to the developmental age that they are in. Dr. Montessori uses the term normal and normalization to describe a unique process she observed in child development. Montessori observed that when children are allowed freedom in an environment suited to their needs, they blossom. We will discuss normalization in a later video. The Montessori prepared environment is prepared by the adult for the child. Dr. Montessori explained that the teacher's first duty is to watch over the prepared environment, and this takes precedence over everything else. The prepared environment contains everything that is essential for optimal development, but nothing more and nothing less. Everything in a Montessori prepared environment must have a purpose and a reason for being there. If there is no purpose or reason, it should not be in the prepared environment. Attributes or characteristics, qualities of a prepared environment include principles of order and reality, of beauty and simplicity. In a Montessori classroom, we focus on reality. We focus on the beauty of the world which the child is trying to engage with, especially in a 3 to 6 environment. The child is trying to make sense of their world, trying to create order, and they don't need the confusion of fantasy. So a Montessori environment is based on the principle of order and reality. Beauty, everything in the classroom should be beautiful, purposeful, and simple. Everything in a classroom is at the right size for the child depending on where they are in development. But in a toddler community and a 3 to 6 classroom, everything is child-sized. The shelves are at the height of the child, the tables and the chairs. Everything that is in a prepared environment is there to serve the child and to serve the development of their independence and engagement with the environment. Dr. Montessori wrote that the first aim of the prepared environment is as far as possible to render the growing child independent of the adult. Another aspect of the prepared environment is that of the trained adult. A trained adult and a large group, or a group large enough of children with mixed ages, make up an important part of the prepared environment. It's preferable in a Montessori prepared environment to have a higher adult-child ratio than can sometimes be found in other environments. If the classroom is well prepared and it's aimed towards the development of independence, you can have in a Montessori classroom somewhere between 30 and 35 students in a 3 to 6 classroom with one trained and qualified Montessori adult and one trained assistant teacher. The Montessori prepared environment is designed to ensure that the children can express and fulfill their human tendencies. A central foundation or tenet of a Montessori philosophy is that human beings exhibit a certain tendency towards characteristics that allow us to be more human. Some of those characteristics include our need and our tendency for exploration, for order, for abstraction, for work, and for discipline. These tendencies are universal, they span over all ages, and they span over all cultural barriers. Wherever we are in the world, every human being has the tendency towards those things and several others. The prepared environment is Montessori's concept that the environment can be designed to facilitate maximum independent learning and exploration by the child. In the prepared environment, there is a variety of activity as well as a great deal of movement, and this is particularly important in a toddler community and in a Montessori preschool environment. The importance of movement in those ages, in that first plane of development from birth to 6 years old, is critical. The only way a neural connection is made is if a child is active and moving in that process. In a Montessori prepared environment for toddlers and 3 to 6 year olds, most of the work that they do is individual. In a primary environment, however, there is still independent work, but there are small group lessons and lessons that involve the entire class. However, across the board, there are still group activities such as storytelling, singing, movement, and art maybe as an additional group activity. The most important aspect, though, is that whatever occurs in a Montessori classroom, the center of everything revolves around the child. In the calm and ordered space of a Montessori prepared environment, children work on activities of their own choice and they work at their own pace. They experience a blend of freedom and self-discipline in a place that is especially designed to meet their developmental needs, and that is a Montessori prepared environment.